What's going on, fellow freelancers? Coming at you today with another Anthem video. Today we're going to be talking about my initial impressions after having played the game several times for several hours. We're going to go over the good and the bad. Stay tuned. Alright, let's start this off on a high note. We'll start with the good. First and foremost, the combat. The style and the versatility and the utter uniqueness of the combat is just one of the biggest draws of this game. It blends third-person tactical shooter mechanics perfectly with action RPG mechanics. It literally feels like they took the best parts of Mass Effect and the best parts of Dragon Age and combined them together into a super baby. It's insanely fun and it's amazing. The flight is fluid and smooth and insanely fun. I spent hours just flying around, checking out the beautiful scenery, because this game is gorgeous. Only a fool would deny that. The game is absolutely breathtaking. The different landscapes and the different just lushness of everything is beautiful, and flying over it, taking it all in, is just immersive all in itself. The javelins themselves each play completely different from one another and genuinely feel unique. A lot of other games give you air quote classes, but they really feel the damn same minus little minor changes. Your class just dictates how you look for the most part. In Anthem, the javelins are not like that. Although they're not technically called classes, it's pretty much what the javelins are. Each one has its own set role, so to speak. And like I said, they feel unique, all within their own. You're not going to feel the same playing a ranger as you do playing an interceptor or playing a storm. They are vastly, vastly different, and that is amazing, especially for games in this day and age. What little we were able to experience of the main story so far seems great. It's got a good blend of action, humor, the characters are engaging, it seems cool. And it is written by Drew Karpyshyn, so the story should be amazing, because that dude can write. For those that don't know, he's responsible for writing both Knights of the Old Republic games, Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, not to mention tons and tons of novels, comics, etc. So the guy's been doing this for quite a long time, something like 20, 25 years. So he very rarely, not even rarely, I don't think I've ever read anything from him that wasn't amazing. So that alone puts my mind at ease on the story of this game. The side characters seem interesting, and I look forward to getting to know them better. Obviously, we've only seen a little bit, but it seems like they're going to be a big part, since BioWare has already told us that we will be able to form bonds with our characters, just like any classic BioWare game. The environments of this game feel alive and filled, unlike a lot of other games where it's big, but it feels so empty and lacking. This game doesn't. I mean, Fort Tarsis is hopping. There's people everywhere. They're having random ambient conversations, which, yeah, you've seen that in other games, but it's still nice that they put that in. It's a nice little touch. It's the little things. And out in the world, you've got a bunch of stuff going on too. Not just your random world events that pop up, but you also have the wildlife and random enemy encampments. Things to discover, things to harvest, caves, mountainous ranges you can fly up to and explore. Down below, even under the water, there's a cave system, and there's ruins, and there's collectibles and cortexes. There's all kinds of things to do and explore. It's just, in the short time I had with it, I mean, it was over several hours, but in the grand scheme of things, that's a short time for a game like this. I was never bored. Never bored. There's just so much to do at any given time. Even if you didn't want to do an actual mission, you were just out in free play with no structure whatsoever, it still felt engaging. The soundtrack is phenomenal. and it makes you feel epic, like a boss. I mean, it's just an amazing soundtrack overall. I just can't say enough positive things about it. There's a few little minor things that are like the song that plays when you're in Fort Tarsis beside the forge. The song is great, but there's one little part of that that's kind of irritating. But for the most part, the soundtrack is amazing. On to the customization. It's great. It's very in-depth. It's very detailed. It lets you do a lot more than just choose a primary and a secondary or maybe even a tertiary color. It lets you go a little more in-depth with 6 different category slots, which dictates different panels on your armor, and that varies by javelin as well. But you can also add vinyls, and you can buy with in-game currency or with real money, if that's your thing. You can buy armor, cosmetic only armor, but it basically dictates what your helmet looks like, what your arms look like, your chest, your legs, etc. So you can really customize not only what you physically look like your javelin's profile, but also the colors and the patterns within that. Because it's not just color. You can choose between cloth, leather, metal, fabric, even raw, which is basically blank metal, and then you can choose what color the blank metal is based on real metals like gold, titanium, platinum, copper. So you can really fine-tune your javelin to however you want. Now, there are a few things about the customization I don't like, and this brings me into my bad section. Although there is a lot, I wish there was a little bit more. For example, I wish you had more than 6 sections. Like, let's say your helmet has this really cool stripe down the side and you want it to be red. Well, with the 6 sections, there is no one stripe down your helmet. That one stripe also controls various other components on your suit. So let's say that stripe down your helmet also controls the little pattern down your back. What if you don't want the pattern down your back to be red, but you do want the helmet stripe to be red? You're kind of screwed. So you have to find a color you're happy with for both of those pieces. I wish that they would separate the sections so you could go into like helmet, and there's like 2 or 3 dedicated sections just for the helmet or just for the arms. That way you could fine tune it a little bit more. But that's subjective. The customization is great the way it is. I just wish there was a little bit more. And another thing that kind of irritates me is the fact that the vinyls can't be colored or customized. This kills a bit of the personal uniqueness to me, because if 4 different people all choose the same vinyl, well, they're all the same look, of course, but then they're all the same color as well. So it's going to make you look just like the dude standing beside you, even if your suit, the other colors, are different. You're still going to both look similar because you have the same vinyl. I wish you could control the colors of those, maybe customize them some, or at the very least give us 4 or 5 different versions of each vinyl. That might be good too. But again, that's subjective and that's a minor grievance. Now that brings me into the major grievances, the things about this game that I absolutely hate. I hate that it's forced mandatory matchmaking. You cannot disable this. I get that it is an online co-op game, but let's face it, sometimes, and some people want to do things solo, or maybe you want to experience a stronghold by yourself just to see if you're badass enough to take it down, or at the very least, how far you can get. Plus, when you're out on a free play, if a buddy logs on, you want to invite them and have them join your free play, you can't, because the game automatically fills any empty slots no matter what you do. You have no control over that. The forced matchmaking is a big no. That needs to be disabled, or at least give you the option to turn it off or activate it, like in The Division. You want to activate matchmaking? Click, boom, matchmaking. The other one that goes in line with this is the restrictions on privacy mode. There is a privacy mode in the game, but you can only use it on story missions. You cannot use privacy mode or private expedition on strongholds or free play. Strongholds, I guess I kind of get, but that goes back to my point with the forced matchmaking. But free play? Really? What if I just want to roll around in free play by myself? Or again, invite friends that log on. I would want to lock my expedition to private so the matchmaking isn't mandatory. I don't want random people in my zone sometimes. Or let them be in the zone, but don't automatically add them to my group. Because that's the thing, anybody who's in the zone is in your group. And once that fills up, you're host. You can't invite anyone else because it's full. And also, why the hell can't I just walk out the freaking door? Or hell, set a place on the map and just go? I mean, I don't care if you do it the Division style or Monster Hunter World style. It's just ridiculous that the only way to leave Fort Tarsis is to start an expedition. Really? Why can't I just walk out the damn door? Boom. When you spawn out in the world, you're on that platform and you turn around, there's a friggin' door. Why can't I just go up, click on the damn door, and step outside? How friggin' hard would that be? Division already does it. You're in your post office, your Fort Tarsis. It's your private base. You're in there alone. It changes, it grows, exactly like Fort Tarsis is supposed to do. And then when you're ready to go, you go through that little decontamination section and it transitions you from the private into the public seamlessly. Clearly it can be done. They've been doing it for years. I don't understand that. Why can't you? That is my biggest complaint with Monster Hunter World, is the fact that you're stuck. You can't leave. You can't just, I mean, technically you can walk up, but all that does is bring up the map, which you can just do that anyway. So, whatever. But I wish that you could just go. Walk through the door. Or I would be okay with bringing up the map. But the fact that you have to go to your suit, jump in your suit, bring up the expedition screen, choose what you want to do, set up all your settings, and then go. I just want to walk out the door and fly off the edge. It ain't that freaking hard. It really breaks the immersion a lot, having to keep doing these load screens and these freaking expedition screens and whatnot. Trying to do a mission, a stronghold, okay, I get it. But for free play, jump out the door. How friggin' hard is that? And while we're on the subject of breaking immersion, what the hell is with the first-person view in Fort Tarsis? That feels so clunky, so unnatural, and so freaking mind-numbingly slow. It is a horrible experience. You look down, you see your hands and feet. You walk along, you see your shadow. When you go to your load screens to show you getting in your suit, you can see your face. The game is supposed to have a character creator. How friggin' hard would it be? You already made the model. Why force us to get into first person? Why transition from third person to first person? That is so immersion breaking and so disorienting. It's horrible. And the first person, at least in the demo, mind you, it felt so clunky, so unnatural, and just so bad. And it really broke a lot of the immersion, and I'm just not okay with that, because BioWare games are notorious for being immersive and engrossing, games, and that's just really gonna But again, subjective. Somebody may disagree. It's weird, but hey, to each their own, different strokes and all that fun stuff. So that's my current opinion of the game, my Anthem impressions, giving you some good and some bad based on the game. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I would love to discuss it. Hell, I'd even be down for debating. I'm always cool with that. Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me a message, whatever. I'll be more than happy to discuss it. But that's it for today, guys. Like and share, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when new content's released, and I will see you all next time on the road to Anthem.